The Midwife Guide to Pain Management goes hand in hand with the Midwife Guide to Hospital Birth. It's the course that you want to do if you are planning for and preparing to have a natural, normal vaginal birth. But even if you are having an elective cesarean section, there are many things in this class that you will find beneficial and that will really help you to understand what happens in your body during pregnancy. The course is quite long and there are a lot of sections, but I encourage you to take it slowly and just go through everything step by step, because every single little lesson takes you a little deeper into understanding exactly what's happening in your body, because that's a really important part of being able to go into labor, feeling confident and of trusting the process of labor. There is naturally a lot of fear and anxiety about what it's going to feel like, how long it's going to take, and when it's going to happen. If you can get to the point where you really understand and trust that your body already knows how to do it, it's just about you understanding exactly what that feels like when all of those things happen. One of the things that can be both a little bit scary but also comforting is the fact that the contractions and that your labor begins in response to what we call your autonomic nervous system. So it is the part of your body that controls your heart rate and your heart beating and your breathing. So those are all things that we don't need to think about. They really do just happen unconsciously without us even having to think about it. And it's the same with your labor. It begins and happens without you having to tell it to happen, which, like I say, is both scary and comforting. I think because we have so much influence from social media and there is so much information available online, we tend to overthink it. And we're also getting a lot of information from our doctor. And there's a lot of focus on the due dates and when it should be happening and when you're expecting it to happen. So even though we know it's going to happen without any influence from you, it's about bringing those two together and going back into that sense of trust and knowing that it is actually going to happen. But what is it going to feel like in your body and how will you experience that? So you'll see that I've broken it down into understanding your pelvis and the hard bony structures and how those are perfectly designed to allow your baby to pass through. Then you're also going to understand the soft muscular structures, which is essentially your uterus, which is the muscle that is holding your baby, and then is going to work really hard to open up the soft cervix to let your baby out. And then understanding the nature of the contractions or surges, how they happen, what they feel like, and the sensations. So you'll hear me use the word pain and sensation interchangeably. You'll hear me use the words contractions and surges interchangeably. And we're going to look at what's happening physically and physiologically, and then also what's happening in the mind, which is the essence of your hypnobirthing, which is included in here because your mind is such an important part of preparing for your birth. Everything that happens in your body starts first in the mind. And then the last little piece of the puzzle is understanding the hormones of labor and how the hormones influence exactly what is happening when your labor begins and as your labor progresses, and even the hormones that are impacting your pregnancy right now. So the labor is kind of the end of your journey, but it's also the transition and the door to motherhood. And then we start something completely new. So this course is like any course that you would see online, and it covers exactly the same things. It is just taking you through step by step so that you really do understand every single little part. And more than anything, what I hope for you and what I would like and what I encourage is that by the end of this, you feel so confident, so trusting of your body and of everything that is already there and that is already happening. And you know how to recognize that and really tune into that deep place of trust and intuition in your body's ability and your baby's ability to give birth and your baby's ability to be born, and being able to work together as a team.